All right, so listen up, folks, because today we're diving deep, and I mean deep, into Lamar Jackson's Maryland mansion.
Ooh, okay.
But before you go thinking this is just another boring celebrity house tour, I promise you this is going to get interesting.
All right.
We're talking about what this place actually says about Jackson, like as a person.
Okay, yeah.
His career, personality, even like how he handles himself with his neighbors. Let's just say it hasn't been all smooth sailing.
Oh, really?
So get this. Right off the bat, sources are saying this place could be worth anywhere from $2 to $5 million.
Yeah, I saw that.
$2 to $5 million.
That's a pretty penny.
But more than the money, it's about where this mansion is. What it says about Jackson's ties to Maryland. I mean, he's playing for the Ravens, sure, but there's got to be more to it than just that, right?
Absolutely, and this is where things get interesting when we're talking about athletes and real estate, right? You got Maryland, and especially certain areas, offering this kind of unique blend of, like, privacy, exclusivity. And that's something that a lot of athletes are really drawn to.
They want that home field advantage, but like for their personal life.
Exactly. Like, think about it, sprawling estates, gated communities.
Yeah.
You can be close to everything, but still have that separation, that buffer from the public eye, the constant scrutiny.
Makes sense when you think about the house itself, too, right? The source described it as modern contemporary.
Yeah.
And to me, I just think sleek, tons of space, natural light, all of that.
Yeah, very clean aesthetic.
But does that really fit with how Jackson is on the field?
Right.
The guy is electric when he plays. Is his house also like that, or is it more subdued?
Well, that's where the contemporary part really comes in, I think. Think, like, interesting materials, those statement pieces, maybe a pop of color here or there.
Right.
It's not about being cold and sterile. It's more about, like, creating drama, movement, but within those clean, modern lines.
Okay, so we're not talking bare white walls and empty rooms.
Definitely not.
What about the actual, like, specifics of the place? They mentioned luxe materials in the article. Velvet, polished wood. That's pretty glam, even for an NFL star.
Oh, for sure. For sure. And this is where you see that blend of, like, luxury and actual livability. They've got the high-end stuff, but it's also about creating a space that's, comfortable for every day, even if every day includes a personal chef and a home theater.
Right, it can't just be for show. You got to be able to kick back after a game, win or lose. So walk me through this mansion. Where do we even start?
Okay. Let's start with, like, the heart of any home, the living room.
Yeah.
And this isn't just your typical living room. This is a space that's designed for, like, grand entertaining, but then also those more quiet, intimate moments.
Okay.
Imagine having your entire team over for a Super Bowl party, but then the next day, that same space feels cozy enough for, like, a family movie night.
Picturing those huge windows, maybe a view, those couches that are big enough for, like, his whole offensive line. Maybe a fireplace for those Maryland winters.
Absolutely. And the source, they really emphasize how this room is all about that balance, luxury, but comfortable.
Not just trying to impress people.
Right, exactly. They want people to feel welcome and relaxed.
Okay, but enough about the living room. What about the kitchen? Are we talking basic, or did they go all out?
Oh, we know they went all out. We're talking chef's dream. Every appliance you could imagine, a huge island, tons of counter space.
Okay, see, now that's what I'm talking about. Give me the details.
Yeah.
I bet that fridge is stocked with, like, all the healthy stuff, recovery drinks, protein shakes.
Oh, for sure. And speaking of high tech, get this, they even mentioned a smart fridge that's synced to his phone.
Really?
Yeah, so he probably gets, like, alerts when he's low on protein bars or when the milk's about to expire.
You know what? Even millionaires have to deal with expired milk.
It's true.
But that's such a good detail, though, because it shows that this place is actually designed with an athlete's lifestyle in mind.
Yeah.
Right down to the smallest things.
100%. It's all about maximizing performance on and off the field, right?
Which leads us to, like, the master suite, right?
Oh, yeah.
If we're talking athlete's haven, it's got to be the bedroom.
For sure.
So fill me in. What do they say about this?
Okay, so picture this. It's like this huge, peaceful oasis.
Okay.
Amazing views.
Yeah.
Private terrace so you can enjoy the morning sun.
Oh, wow.
Maybe even a fireplace, for those cozy nights.
I am not hearing anything wrong with this so far.
And the source really focused on how this room is all about creating that sense of peace, like a retreat.
Yeah, it sounds like something out of a magazine,
Right.
But for an athlete, it's more than that, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's about Like your physical and mental recovery.
100%.
Got to be top-notch.
Exactly. Sleep is important for everyone, but especially athletes.
Yeah.
Stress reduction, even like the air quality, these things all play a part in how well they perform.
Right. Makes sense to invest in that if you can.
Absolutely. So a spa-like master suite
Yeah.
makes total sense.
It's like having your own training camp, but like way fancier.
And with better snacks.
Yeah, for sure.
But let's talk about a different kind of court for a second.
Oh, here we go.
That backyard basketball court, that's been causing a bit of a stir in the neighborhood.
Yeah. Yeah, the source mentioned that.
Yeah, this is where things get really interesting because it kind of shows the challenges of being a celebrity, living in a normal neighborhood.
Right.
Trying to blend those two worlds.
So what happened? Did he, like, build this massive court and not even invite the neighbors over for a game or something?
It's a little more complicated than that.
Okay.
It seems like some of the neighbors weren't too happy about the basketball court going up.
Really?
They were worried about the noise, their property values,
Oh, right.
basically disrupting the peace and quiet of the neighborhood.
Yeah, I mean,
Which, it's a pretty upscale area,
I can see that.
so you can imagine.
So it's like you've got these wealthy residents who are used to a certain lifestyle.
Right.
And then you've got an NFL quarterback whose idea of downtime is maybe
A little different.
a little bit, yeah. It makes you wonder, like, just because you have the money to do something,
Yeah.
does that mean you should?
That's the question, isn't it? It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, on one hand, zoning laws are there for a reason to make sure that, like, the community standards are kept.
Right. You can't just build whatever you want, wherever you want.
Exactly. You can't just build a water park in your backyard
Exactly.
and expect everyone to be okay with it.
Right.
But, then there's the other side of it.
Yeah.
When you buy a place that's worth millions of dollars, shouldn't you have some freedom
Right.
to do what you want with it, personalize it, even if it means, bending the rules a little bit?
It's like, yeah, it's my property.
Right.
But at the same time, you're living in a community.
Exactly.
Have there been other cases like this with athletes in their homes?
Oh, absolutely. This is not new.
Right.
Remember that time that actor wanted to build a helipad
Oh, yeah.
on his Malibu estate? The neighbors were not happy about that one.
I can only imagine those homeowners association meetings.
I know, right?
Oh, man.
But yeah, it just shows that money and fame, they don't always mean you can just disregard everyone else.
For sure. It'll be interesting to see what happens with this whole basketball court thing.
Yeah, definitely.
If any legal action is taken,
Right.
who knows?
We'll have to wait and see.
But for now, let's move on to something that everyone cares about, even if you're not an NFL star.
Oh, okay.
Money.
Always a good topic.
Right. We've mentioned this price tag.
Yeah.
$2 to $5 million
Yeah, it's a wide range.
for this place.
Yeah.
But the source made it clear that there's more to it than just like the size or where it is.
Yeah.
What all goes into figuring out what a house like this is actually worth?
Well, you've got your basic stuff, square footage, the land, location, those sorts of things.
Right, the stuff everyone thinks about.
Exactly. But with celebrity homes, there's this whole other layer.
Okay.
It's like a fame premium.
So it's not really about the house itself, it's about who owns it.
Kind of, yeah. It's like buying a piece of their story,
Okay,
their brand.
right.
Like, people pay more for a baseball signed by Babe Ruth
Oh, yeah.
or like a dress Marilyn Monroe wore.
A piece of history.
Exactly. These things have cultural significance.
Right.
And owning them, it's like you own a little piece of that.
Yeah, so it's like an investment almost.
Exactly.
It's a piece of sports memorabilia.
In a way, yeah.
That's so interesting.
And like any investment, it's expected to go up in value over time.
Right.
The source actually gave this table
Okay.
comparing it to other Maryland celebrity homes.
Oh, okay, yeah, let's hear it.
Okay, so Kevin Durant's place, estimated to be like 4 to 6 million.
Okay.
Cal Ripken Jr. around 3 to 4.
Okay, so Jackson's is right up there with them.
Oh yeah, it's definitely up there.
But it's not, like, crazy higher.
Right, it's in line with similar properties.
Right, so it's not like he's being outlandish or anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, I mean, when you think about it, it's a smart move financially, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Building that equity, thinking about the future.
Right, setting himself up for after football.
Exactly, which is smart because that career's so short.
100%. They have a limited time to make that money and make it last.
They got to make the most of it.
Exactly, and a property like this is a part of that strategy.
It's like they're building their own little world.
Right, but with a way better snack selection.
Oh, definitely, for sure.
But, speaking of blending in, the source mentioned something interesting about the interior design.
Oh, okay.
They said it's like modern and minimalist, but then they also used words like warm and inviting.
Yeah, and I was kind of wondering about that
Yeah.
because I always picture those modern homes as being kind of stark,
Yeah.
with those empty rooms.
Yeah, a lot of white, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, but it sounds like in this case they use those principles like intentionally
Right.
as a foundation. So
Yeah.
you have those clean lines, that open floor plan,
Yeah.
but then you bring in different textures, textiles,
Well,
maybe some artwork to make it feel more homey.
so less about being super minimal.
Yeah, it's not about being bare.
Right.
It's about spaciousness and flow, but still making it feel livable.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's about finding that balance between like being grand, but also intimate.
Right.
So you could have a party for 100 people,
Right.
but then also like curl up with a book by the fireplace and feel comfortable.
And when your job involves getting tackled for a living, I'm sure that's important.
Oh yeah, having that comfortable retreat.
Exactly.
Especially when that retreat has all the bells and whistles, those top of the line amenities.
Okay, so given to me, what kind of over-the-top stuff are we talking about?
All right, well, I think it's safe to assume there's a state-of-the-art gym.
Of course, of course.
Probably a full recovery room.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe like cryotherapy,
I have that.
massage tables, all of that.
Right, a sensory deprivation tank.
Oh, for sure, for those days when you just need to tune everything out.
Right, get away from it all.
Exactly.
What about a hyperbaric chamber for those post-game aches and pains?
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, right?
Right, it's all about recovery.
100%, optimizing every aspect.
Exactly.
But then, of course, you've got your typical luxury stuff.
Okay.
Home theater, wine cellar, maybe even a putting green.
Oh, come on, a putting green.
Why not, right?
I guess when you got it, you got it.
Exactly. Go big or go home, as they say.
That's right, that's right.
But really, it's about creating an environment that fits every need.
Makes sense.
Whether it's entertaining, relaxing, or even just like, keeping up that competitive edge.
Yeah, they're not just athletes anymore.
Exactly.
They're building a brand.
It's a whole lifestyle.
Right, which kind of brings us back to that question about the basketball court.
Oh,
Should there be different rules for celebrity homes?
right. Because the source, they gave both sides,
Yeah,
but didn't really give an answer.
it's a tough one because on one hand, rules are rules.
Right. Everyone should have to follow them.
But then again, it's like, is it really fair to hold everyone to the same standard
It's a good point.
when their lives are so different?
It's that classic dilemma, right?
Yeah.
Like, is it fair if the rules are the same for everyone when everyone's different?
Yes, exactly. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
But then on the other hand, should your neighbors have to deal with that
Right.
just because you're famous and wealthy?
It's a tough one. There's no easy answer.
No, there really isn't.
And it goes beyond just like basketball courts and zoning laws,
Right, it's bigger than that.
It's about how we view celebrities.
Right, we put them up on a pedestal.
Exactly.
But then we also hold them to this, impossible standard.
It's true.
We want them to be relatable.
Yeah, but also extraordinary.
Right, like they're superhuman or something.
It's a tough line to walk, that's for sure.
It really is, and I guess in the end, it's up to each of us to decide what we think.
I think that's a good place to leave it.
Yeah, I think so too.
A lot to think about.
Well, we covered a lot of ground today.
We did.
From the design of this modern contemporary mansion
Yeah, it's a pretty amazing place.
to the financial moves these athletes are making.
They're thinking ahead.
Right, and even those, ethical questions about what it means to be a celebrity.
It's complicated.
It is. It really is.
A lot more to it than meets the eye.
That's for sure. All right, well, that about wraps it up for this deep dive.
Always a pleasure.
Always great to chat with you, and to everyone listening, thanks for joining us.
Until next time.
And remember, keep exploring those big questions, because that's what it's all about.